You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AfterBuzz TV for Teen Mom. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Teen Mom news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AfterBuzz TV for Teen Mom.
Hello, everybody. This is Ed Bowling filling in for our wonderful normal host, Mari Fagel. She's doing big and wonderful things out on the East Coast. But we do have with us the wonderful Isabel.
Hi, guys.
Isabel, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, very good. Doing pretty good. So in any case, what we're going to do this time is we are going to give you a quick recap of episode 6 of Teen Mom Season 3. We already have been a lot of times what happens is we watch the show. Sometimes we watch it together. Sometimes we end up talking to people like DJ Jesse Janity before we get to start the AfterBuzz broadcast. And you know, you can tell when a show is like got a lot of controversy or whatever because we'll argue about it and we'll have heated discussions beforehand, like we did today. So first I'm going to get into what we're going to do is we're going to go start with Farrah. We'll get Farrah out of the way because Isabel always gives me a hard time. Hello, because I think Farrah is the hot mom and, you know, everything's cool. But anyway, so in this particular, did you have a comment?
Well, I mean, Ed, I feel like you forget what this show is about. This is not about who's the hottest mom. I mean, I'm not on the show.
I thought that was
I'm
what
not
the
on
show.
The show. I thought,
that's true. That's true.
If it was the hottest
If
mom,
it was who's the hottest mom, Isabel, the show would be about you. Okay.
But it's not about that, and you
Okay.
seem to forget that, so that's what bothers me.
I don't see why I can't have it both ways. I can't see. It can't be teen who's the hottest mom. That's be a great show right there. I'm like created a show out of it.
Teen who's about to be raped by old men.
Oh,
That's what it would be called.
okay. I might be old, but you don't have to use the R word.
Okay.
Okay, she's of age and she's super fine.
Not
and,
when you first saw her, she was of age.
And I didn't watch it at that when it was 16
you
and pregnant.
Want her then?
No, I didn't even see her 16 and pregnant show, so I am completely in the clear. But anyway, Farrah, if you're listening, you can call me, girl. Okay, 424 and whatever number they said. So anyway, no, but it was really like I think this is probably the second time we've seen where the Farrah portion of the show was sort of the lighthearted one. It was sort of the comedy one. I mean, here she is, knows good and well that her mom, apparently who owns the house she lives in, does not want a dog in there, has already told her, I don't want no dogs in there. And she goes and she gets the dog anyway because she's happy that she graduated from culinary school. And she, you know, and then she knows that Sophia is going to love the puppy, right?
Right.
And, you know, what you can talk about it. What did you remember seeing?
You know, I loved the episode. I loved Sophia around the puppy. It was so cute.
Yes.
And the puppy was all about Sophia too. It was like she was a puppy for the puppy.
Yes.
It was just cute. But really, you named it after your mom? I don't know about that. I don't know how I will feel if my son was like, Mom, I got a dog, and I named it after you.
Wait, what was the dog's name?
I forgot what her mom's name is. I think her mom's name is Deborah. Now, am I making that up?
It's a D. It's something that starts with a D.
But she said, Mom, we named it after Grandma. Like, it was such an amazing thing to do. And the mom is like, I'm like, really? You want a dog to be named after you?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was just, you know, even on the after show, Suchin Park, who hosts the MTV after show, said directly to Farrah, "Did you really think you were going to be able to hide a whole dog from your mom?"
Not that. Did you really think the dog will go pee in the toilet? Like, you can barely make your son and daughter do that.
Okay,
and she's
yeah.
like, pee, poo.
Like, I don't even think, I'm wondering how long would it take for a dog to be willing to actually pee when you're holding it up in the air? It's like the dog's, mechanisms don't even work doing that. So, I don't know.
Hey, don't forget that cat, though, that learned how to eat and pee and poo in the toilet.
Well, lots of cats that do that, maybe even dogs, where they go and they use the toilet.
Dogs are stupider than cats?
No, I'm saying when she is holding the animal up in the air, it's not going to work. But, yeah, I mean, see, that's one of those things where, Farrah is a young girl, and, I mean, I don't know if she actually thought, I don't know, do you think she actually thought the dog was going to go pee if she held it over the toilet?
Yes, and she said, "Oh, I didn't realize it was going to be this hard." Like, wait till you go to sleep. I'm sure they cut all that off. Dogs, puppies, not dogs, puppies, cry just like a newborn.
Yeah, well,
all night.
They were whining. The dog was whining when the mom came in, and that's what revealed it to the mom and everything else. And it was so funny how Sophia kept saying, "Puppy, puppy, doggy." Like everywhere she went, she just kept saying that.
She was in love. That was so cute.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't see much of a storyline here.
No.
I think we'll see much more from Farrah on the next episode. But we got to see the fun side, even though she was still a biatch to her mom. Like, Mom, okay, yeah, you can shower here. Like, I know at the beginning of earlier seasons, they say she was going to be paying her mom rent.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's still going on. I hope so, because she acted like she was I'm sure she was just annoyed because the puppy was there, but she was just like, "Go shower, get out of my face, leave me alone."
Yeah.
But it was a nice,
Well,
episode.
yeah, I mean, the thing about the whole Farrah thing, portions of the shows, Farrah, I mean, I don't want to say she's got it easy, but when you look at it compared to the other ones, it seems like she kind of does. I mean, she's already making advancements in her career. She's getting an education. She's got a nice place to stay. She's got some really supportive parents. I mean, she can call her mom in a moment's notice to say, "Hey, me and my sister want to go do our hair. Can you take Sophia off my hands?" I mean, that's really, it's wonderful when you've got family like that, but, a lot of parents don't have on-the-spot babysitting like that.
And, I'm glad you mentioned that. Let's not take the episode away from what it was. She did graduate, so congratulations to Farrah. That's actually amazing. She graduated college, and she's done with that, and she's starting her career. So she's one of the ones that's actually going the right path and hopefully showing other girls it doesn't have to stop just because you had a baby at 16.
Well, and did you happen to notice that at one point in the episode she said something like, I don't know, something about if she gets with some other guy, she's not ever having any more kids. Did you hear her say that?
I did.
What do you think's behind that? Do you think that, like, is she saying that because she's still right in the middle of, she just had to, it's been so traumatic?
And I can actually
I mean, little Sophia is not going to ever have a brother and sister. She,
I can actually feel for what she's saying. I mean, my son is about to be 3, and if you ask me right now, I still say, hell no, never again. So maybe she feels that same way.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell you, you'll forget. I still haven't.
But what are you saying no? Because of the pain of how it sucks to be pregnant, the pain of childbirth?
No. I actually loved being pregnant now, because when I hear stories of women that were pregnant, they sound horrific.
It was
mine
worse
was
than yours.
amazing. I mean, I never threw up. I threw up twice my entire pregnancy.
Right.
I didn't have, heartburn. I didn't have
all the stuff that you hear about.
Yeah, I had amazing cravings, which I still do, so I don't even consider it cravings. I mean, in and out, like that was my craving, but I still have that now. So
yeah.
I just think that was, extra. And I wasn't discomfort. I mean, I worked till the day I was due, and I worked straight from work to the hospital. Like, I'm ready to give birth. Okay, I'm here. But it's just the sleepless nights, the horrible twos. I'm still there.
Got it.
So I think some women are made to be moms, and they love it and they enjoy it. I didn't. I enjoy the fun times when he's not crying and he's not going to bed.
Right.
But I don't enjoy the bad times. And some moms enjoy both. They're like, oh, it's so great. I remember when he was in the middle of the night. I'm not one of those moms. No.
You know what? I think that is really awesome and honest that you said that, because there might be listeners and moms out there that maybe feel what you feel and they feel ashamed. But you know what? The fact is that, you know what, you feel something, you can't control what you feel, and you shouldn't be ashamed of it.
No, you should never. At the end of the day, you're still the one dealing with it, and anybody that says, how could she say that they're not there in the middle of the night with me, making sure he goes to bed, and I'm only sleeping 3-4 hours to get up and go to work. I can say what I feel. Yeah, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy any part of I enjoy the funny faces, the whole thing. But I'm not somebody that would say I would do it again because I love it. No.
Right. You don't love every aspect of it. And that's fair, and there's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, you moms that are out there, you always try to do the right thing, but you may not always feel like doing it, and that's totally okay. So that's Farrah. Let's go to Caitlin. In this episode, Caitlin and Tyler, and I'm going to say that what happened with Tyler goes right along with my long-term prediction for him is, and I'll get to that in a second, but Caitlin went to a camp for the second time, a camp that was for entirely for moms that had been given had given their babies up for adoption. Okay, and so I called it adoption camp. She went with her friend Paige, who is also a very beautiful young lady.
Okay, Ed, we don't know if she's over 18.
Oh, sorry, is this not Teen Who's the Hottest Mom?
No, wrong show. Wrong show. That's the show that we're going to try to produce on your own.
So basically, Caitlin went to this camp, brought her friend Paige, who was also a very young teen mom, and I got to say, this was probably the most heartbreaking portion of any of the shows for me, because the reality is that what's done is done, and these moms, the actual birth moms, can miss their child as much as they want, and it can hurt really bad, but it's done. The child is gone, and there's other parents, and there's another person named mommy. There's another person named daddy.
Right.
I just really felt like it was an amazingly difficult thing for, me at my age to be able to deal. I wouldn't even know what to do with it, but for them at such a young age to have to deal with that, it just seemed really super challenging. So it was very heartbreaking, and I can't even imagine how difficult it must be. Were you going to say something?
It was the first time, this entire, not just this season, but the first season with Caitlin and Tyler were part of it. I was so angry. I mean, I don't like to discuss how I feel about adoption or abortion, but I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
We all have our own feelings about it. I don't agree with it, and I don't like discussing it just because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. But it was the first episode where I actually, one of my questions that I always, Paige said it herself, I can't call myself mom. I'm not his mom. I'm not there. How can I call myself a mom? And here's Caitlin trying to argue against it. But I agree with Paige. You gave your son for adoption or your daughter for adoption. You're not a mom.
Yeah.
If you don't have other kids. And I finally saw Caitlin, because I always felt like Caitlin and Tyler were so mature to the point where they never cried or were sad about giving up their child for adoption. And here's the first time that I see Caitlin be hurt and worried. Like, I may lose any touch with my kid.
Yeah.
And she's actually crying and sad about it and worried. Yeah. So it was good to see that side of her, because I've always thought they are enjoying life. Like, for all you know, you could have had an abortion, and who cares? Why even, I've always felt like, why even go through the pregnancy and give up something that you're going to be, and have an open adoption and see your son or daughter grow without you. Like, I'd rather just go with abortion, but that's another subject. But it was the first time that I got to see her side where she really cares, and really wish I kind of feel like they gave up their kid because of their situation and not because they couldn't handle it. It was just like they knew it would involve a family that's not there.
Yeah,
had nothing to do with them.
Exactly, and we a few times we've both on the air and off the air, we've discussed the fact that the show's called Teen Mom. Why is Caitlin on there? Because she doesn't keep her child. Right. But the experiences that we're seeing are so I think that at this point, MTV gets credit for being sort of a public announcement type of show, where they're really showing the different aspects of what happens, what the consequences are when you're so young and you actually get pregnant. You know, if you end up giving your child for adoption, guess what? Problems don't go away. Now you've got this extreme bond with a very young guy and you're a young girl, and I think part of, you know, maybe Tyler and Caitlin are truly in love. You know, I don't know that but they're very young, and they're engaged. And you know, would they have been engaged if they didn't get pregnant and have a baby? Who knows? But this pregnancy has consequences, and so I appreciate the fact that MTV is showing it, even though she's technically not a teen mom. You know, and she did have a good sort of supportive response to Paige. She said, "You know what? We're not parents, but we are a mom." Right. And it was kind of comforting to hear. But I agree with you on that, Isabel. So, but just and we'll end with this on Caitlin. Tyler, if you saw his face, the little piece that he was on this show, because he wasn't in it much. When the other person said, "Do you feel guilty?" He said, "Yep, I feel guilty." And he was feeling guilty about not contacting the parents of his daughter, not being proactive in the relationship with those parents and his daughter. And I'm telling you, I don't. Maybe he's smart enough and wise enough to just keep the peace for the rest of his life and the rest of his daughter's life. But I just anticipate that this kid's fatherly instincts are going to kick in, and he's going to want to be a father to his daughter in a very short number of years.
And I looked that up for you, because I know we always talk about that. It's impossible. And so the child's actually 18. And if it's a close adoption, which I learned of today, I mean, I when I looked it up, I didn't understand what it was until they touched it during the show. The child may never be able to look up his parents. He or she may never be allowed to know who they are once it goes adoption. That's why Caitlin is freaking the F out, because she's like, what if my child ever wants to look me up? That's it. And she can no longer look him up. She won't know anything about it.
Well, is there a time, there's like a date where it's going to
it depends when the adoptive parents decide.
Oh,
that's why she's like, oh my gosh, like So,
oh boy, that's tough.
So not only do you have to, go through this whole, history of getting counseling when you're going to give your son or daughter for adoption, but as adoptive parents, I think you have to take classes where you learn, do I want to have an open adoption and understand what that really means, and never go back and try to close it. That's just evil.
Yeah. So that, oh my God, that's such a huge issue. Okay.
We'll see how that unfolds.
Okay, we'll see how that goes in the next few years. So moving on to, let's go to Macy. Okay.
Macy.
Good old Macy. Now, Macy in this episode, a bunch of things happen with her and Ryan. She reveals to Ryan that her and Kyle are living together. Okay.
Well, it doesn't quite reveal. She's being pushed to.
Well, it was one of those things where people around her said, does Ryan know that Kyle's living with you? And she said, well, he never asked me,
Right. And I agree with her. As this whole thing was going on, I was like, he's not your father.
Right.
He has no right to know anything about your personal life. I understand that this guy is going to be in Bentley's life, but he already met him. He already approved. The end. That's it. Whatever you guys do, if you guys get married, whatever, it's none of Ryan's business.
Yeah. Well, it's tough because, I know as a man, if you have a child, you're my first instinct is to be protective. And so then.
So he met him. So what else could he?
Well, but what he did was he met her boyfriend.
Right. The end.
No, he didn't meet the man that's living in the house.
What? How is that different?
Well, you know what? I'm just going to chalk it up to this because this is only a half-hour show today, and I'm going to say that's you're a woman and I'm a man and we're different, and I apologize to all of the egalitarian people out there that are going to maybe send hate mail or hate Twitters or whatever, which is okay because that's responsive. We want you to respond. But, if you can't understand that, that's fine. But the difference is if the dude is there 24/7, except when he goes to work, that's different than this is my ex's girlfriend or boyfriend that's around my son sometimes. There's a difference there. But anyway, we did see that Ryan's mom, had some comments to Ryan about the fact that Kyle's living there. And, frankly, I just felt that her comments were, I don't know what the right word is, but they were a little early. Like, we see the show, and we know that Kyle is a really great person for Bentley to have around him. Okay? And, yeah, you know what? Ryan may not like it, and his mom may not like it that Bentley's bonding with this other guy, but that for her to say that any judge would know that it's a bad thing for Kyle to live there, that's not necessarily the case. And also, speaking from experience, I don't also agree with the mom that Ryan would be able to convince a judge to order Macy to not have the boyfriend. I don't think that they can do that.
And let's not forget, like, when she was saying that, I was like, wait, maybe you should have taught your son how to be a man.
Oh,
because
my
the
goodness,
reason why they're not together is because of him. He didn't want to be a dad to begin with. He did not act like a dad. To this day, I mean, you see a few flashbacks here back and forth of him holding Bentley, but it looks like his parents are the ones that care the most.
Yeah.
And his dad, I appreciate his dad because he tries to really be on Macy's side because you can tell he sees that Macy's a good mom, and every time the mom and Ryan are jumping into things, he's always the one like, well, calm down. We don't know this. I don't like that he's always trying to push it into, let's take it into court, number one, because he's not the one paying for it. And obviously if he cared, he would be working and paying for it. It would be his parents because his parents really want Bentley. But it's not Ryan, the one that cares. It's always the parents putting it in his head, well, you should care. You should do this. You should do that. But again, it was the first thing that came to my mind. Teach your son how to be a man, and maybe she wouldn't be having a new guy in his life. And it's one guy.
Yeah.
That she's mentioned it several times. He's been in her life since before even Ryan was in her life.
Yeah.
It's not some stranger
to have history
that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And we all know Macy's one of the best ones on the show, and she's shown to be very mature and knows what she wants for her son. And Kyle seems to love Bentley, and Bentley loves Kyle. So, a child can never lie.
I feel like he loves Bentley more than he loves Macy, to be honest with you. I mean, that's just what I see. So then Kyle, then what we see in this episode is really having a difficult time with the whole Ryan thing. And, Macy may need to modify her sort of behavior with Ryan in order to fix this. But, the situation is that Kyle drives Macy and Bentley when they need to drop Bentley off to Ryan in this episode. And then Macy goes in the house with Bentley and Ryan, and Kyle's in the car waiting. And, when we watch it on the show, it's only like a minute or two, but Kyle's really red in the face and really upset, and I think it probably was a lot longer than that. I mean, a lot of stuff happened. They sat and they talked about Kyle living there. They talked about Bentley's clothing, and then they had a little playtime at the door where, before they even left the house, where it was all cute and everything. And when Macy gets back in the car, then, she says, give me a kiss to Kyle, and he's like, I'm not in the kissing mood. And he's really upset.
Well, at least we get to see that he's not slow. He has other emotions.
Yeah, thank you for that, Isabel.
I'm just saying, for a while, we've all been, Ed, you've been questioning it a little. It crossed your mind a little. See, nothing to say. So it was nice to see, oh my God, you have some kind of feelings, emotions, expressions.
And so just to make sure that I'm staying consistent, I just want to say that Macy's friend Erica, who she talked to outside of the college, is also really hot. And Erica can call me on 424, whatever the number is. Right. Call you can call me.
I like how Phil Lynn doesn't ever fill in the number.
No. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's GJ Jesse Janity. Maybe Phil is filling in. Can we get a response? I mean, who's in the studio right now? We can't. We're blind. For all you listeners, we're blind to the studio. You know what? They're not talking to us. We don't even know if we're still on. Are we even on the air?
You are, but Ben doesn't want to say anything. We got a total rookie.
Oh, Ben's in there. Oh, yeah.
Fill in.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Fill in, we need the number.
Ladies and gentlemen, just when you thought you couldn't get any lower than fill in, you drop down to the level of intern.
Intern.
And I'm telling you that, the last thing you want to be is an intern at AfterBuzz. We love AfterBuzz, but don't be an intern because that intern gets abused.
Yeah, I have no
They're
idea
just
what
like
I'm
way down
supposed
there.
to be saying,
Hello,
so.
Ben, are you there?
Hi.
Part of that.
Do you even Ben?
Hello.
Ben, do you even speak English? Are you there? Hello.
Hi,
Hello, Ben?
I'm here.
Okay. All right.
Hi, Ben. So have you
Right.
learned our 424 number? We need to give out our 424 number so these girls can all call in on our next show.
Right, Farrah,
and hook up with Ed.
Erica,
We have to fill in Ed's calendar.
and Paige. But Paige only if you qualify.
Paige only if you're over 16.
Hey.
I don't know what your age is, Ed.
Anyway, that's okay, Ben. We can give it another time. So
Well, the number
So,
is
424 256
256
1729.
yeah, I knew that. 424-256-1729. I know that.
Ben
Okay,
learned the number.
So now I think we're going to move on to. Oh, you know what? I did want to say the online exclusive. I did watch that, and that was shocking. I'm going to shock you right now, Isabel. The online exclusive portion of this show, episode 6, was Kyle and Macy eating dinner at some restaurant. I think the day that they had the whole drop-off thing. And Kyle basically said, why do you even give Bentley to Ryan at all? And if you didn't give him to him, that would just be more time that we could have with Bentley. And he's an ASS, and he's this and he's that, and you shouldn't even, and you should just treat him the way he treats you.
Did you just spell out ass?
Yeah, but I spelled it out so you wouldn't have to say it. Estúpido. Okay, so anyway, so her and Kyle are having this conversation, and she, very like you said, she steps up because she's one of the good ones, right? She's like, you know what? I'm not trying to give Bentley to Ryan for Ryan's sake. I'm doing it for Bentley's sake. That's his dad. I don't want him to think that I, kept him from his dad or anything like that. And Kyle says something like, well, you should just treat him like the way he treats you. And Macy says, what should I do? Smack him in the face? And Kyle says, yep, that would be a good idea. You should do that. So the whole idea that Kyle is so blinded by his jealousy or anger or whatever that he's suggesting that Macy,
I don't think he's blinded. I just think he's not a dad. He's a step-in dad, but he's not a dad or a mom, so he doesn't understand how these things can affect your child. And I think Macy at the time when she was going through her anger with Ryan after they first broke up, it takes a while for you to wake up and understand, oh, it's not about me anymore. It's about my son.
Okay, well, hold on, but let me finish this. Let me finish this point because I'm going to refer back to the news and gossip last week. I don't know if you remember it or you knew about it, but Mari said this, that there is a picture on the internet and maybe in some magazine or whatever of Kyle and Bentley, and they both have the same haircut and they both have blonde hair and they both look exactly alike. And so there was some buzz about the possibility that yes, and so that was kind of scary. Me and Mari both said we don't think that's the case, that Kyle is actually Bentley's father, and we're not suggesting that now for all the people listening. We are not suggesting that at all. We're only talking about what we saw, suggested on the internet. And in any case, that actually, is fairly thought-provoking. And if Kyle even had that inclination, that would explain why he would be could be a good guy and then think, why do you even bother with this other guy? Just let me, you, and Bentley be a family, and then he would actually be a dad and a real protective one. So anyway, but we don't have to beat that down. Let's move on now, finally, to Amber. And in this episode, we basically was surrounding Leah's birthday party, and we find out in a very, overt fashion that Gary still, according to him, what he says, very much wants to be with Amber. Tells her on the phone, I still want to be with you. I still love you. She's actually calling him about the party, or he's calling her, or whatever. We're talking about the party. And then when she says, it's not okay. You know, we're not good for each other right now. We got too many problems. He's like, okay, well, also I want to have separate birthday parties.
Yeah.
Right. So he says separate party. Amber totally doesn't like it. She disagrees. She's like getting a house. She's trying to get her life together so she can have her daughter. At this point, she thinks that as soon as she gets the room ready for Leah, that she's just going to have Leah like full time all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know that Gary ain't having that. You know, I mean, he's been, you know, parenting the child the whole time while she's doing all her legal stuff, and I don't know what's going on, but she's trying to be ready for Leah. I thought it was very interesting that on the phone, when Gary was on the phone with her, Leah calls her mom Amber. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, I didn't notice that from last episode.
Yeah, she did it before.
Yes, I mean, kids learn fast. Yeah. And I think she's realizing, whatever, you're not mom, you're Amber.
Right. Well, but I don't get it though. Like, I'm wondering what's going on in Leah's mind or how that works, because on the phone
she calls her Amber.
Yeah, but when she walked in, mommy. She said mommy.
Right.
So, kids are very smart.
Well, she did yell it out, so maybe it's just what she's been hearing when Gary calls out her name and yells out her name, whatever the case is. But
it could be a thing where she calls her both.
I didn't quite agree with the separate
birthday
parties. But if you're not going to be with your baby's dad or your baby's mom, you don't need to be together. That's just like let's. I agree with what he said. Let's do it separately. I'm not trying to be, an a-hole. And for the first time, let poor Gary do something for himself to make himself feel better. If that made him feel better, let's forget about the baby for a second. He's still doing something good for the baby.
Yeah.
Let him get some kind of pleasure out of this. It's always Amber beating on him. Let's not forget why she's in trouble to begin with.
Yeah, actually beating on him. Yeah.
Let him enjoy something. And I agree with him. I mean, if I'm not going to be with you, we don't need to have birthday parties together. What's going to happen next year when you, Amber, find a new dude in your life and you don't want the birthday parties together?
Yeah.
I agree with him.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the really interesting thing about Amber's portion of the story is that she's the one that's been in the news so much now. And, these shows are from last year.
Right.
And so we know where things are headed. And so it's really weird to see her get a house and, because we know that's okay, soon she's going to be...
It's kind of like you want to jump in there and say, girl, don't waste your time.
Or something. Like, don't sign too long of a lease.
Girl,
because you're going to have to go. And, but, I mean, and we're making fun of it, but, it's sad. We're sad that she's had such a difficult time. We don't agree with the people. You guys, whoever's out there driving by her house, honking the horn, calling her bad mom, don't do that anymore. That doesn't help the situation.
Oh, but I love how she gets all in Gary's face. And when I say I love, I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Oh, you were out drunk yesterday at midnight. Bitch, you weren't there?
Yeah.
Okay, at least he was out drunk and came home to her.
Yeah.
You were at home chilling, like, what am I going to do tonight? And for all we know, the cameras couldn't follow you because you were too busy running around with how many guys.
Yeah, who knows? But you know what? The thing with Amber is she has moments where things are very clear to her, and she's an extreme person. When she's in her mom mode, she's extreme, and she'll fight. But then when she's not in her mom mode, she's not in her mom mode.
How are you even going to say anything when you don't have your daughter to begin with, and it's a choice because at this point you have not taken your kid away, so you could have chosen to get better and get on your feet with your child next to you.
Yeah, it is tough, but remember, Amber has had a tough time. She's not only had to battle her own issues, but then to have the public against her because of the way the media portrays her. And you know what? And I'm not saying she doesn't do anything wrong or she doesn't need to improve things. I'm just saying that we're not in her shoes, and it's got to be super tough. So, anyway, I think that pretty much wraps it up for.
So let's do predictions because I actually was very excited about that. As fill-in or intern.
Okay, hold on. Let's see what Ben can do. Let's see Ben's skills. Okay, Ben, we're not doing news and gossip, but we are doing predictions. So the lead in should be coming any second. I don't hear the music.
We're actually going to commercial. So
commercial.
You forgot
we gotta pay the bills, y'all.
All right. Let's do a commercial.
Ben taking charge. Okay, go into commercial. Go for it.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean. You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
Oh, yeah, no, that was 424-256-1729, going out to Erica, Farah, and Paige if you qualify. So, but actually, I think we, hello? Oh, I hear it! I hear the prediction music. If Ben did that...
If you be quiet, Ed, then we can all hear it.
But I'm the fill-in host. I'm supposed to talk. On the radio, on the AfterBuzz. But anyway, if Ben did that too, props to you, man. You get credit for that. Okay, good job. So apparently, ladies and gentlemen, Isabel has a prediction or something that she wants to say. So I guess we better listen. So Isabel, please hit us with whatever valuable thing you want to say.
I kind of forgot.
Did you really?
Well, I was so excited, and then fill in and Ben the intern butt in, and then whole commercial.
Well, it's okay. I can explain why Isabel forgot.
Online
I can explain why Isabel forgot. It's because, ladies and gentlemen, Isabel's hungry, and the pasta that she has to eat, it's like 30 feet away, and she's tied to the phone line. She can't do it. So now I said that as a filler in hopes that you would have triggered in your mind whatever it is. No, the prediction that you were going to make. You said you had a prediction before the thing, blah, blah, blah. You still don't remember? Not triggering, nothing coming back to you. Amber, prediction for Amber, prediction for Macy and Ryan. Okay, because remember, Macy and Ryan, they had to sit. Remember, Ryan's mom was like, do you think that you're over Macy? And he's like, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so there was that. And then she said, is Macy over you? And he's like, I don't know.
You just want to go on that. I really don't think that Ryan and Macy.
I think they still have a thing for each other. No, I think they're not over each other at all. And Mari agrees with me, by the way. Yeah, just for the record. Okay, well, it looks like we're not going to trigger.
No, I just.
Ed, I disagree with you.
Who disagrees with me?
The intern disagrees with you.
Holy crap!
Thank you, Ben. You can join the group.
No, that is completely unacceptable.
It's a good-looking side, anyways. That's why Ed is always showing himself online. But yes, I don't think that there's anything there. Part of my prediction was, here we go again. Somebody's actually going to try and get them back together. Mom wants them back together because she knows Macy.
Mom don't want them back together.
Macy's the best thing that Ryan has had all this time. I mean, how many girlfriends has he shown on TV and none have worked out?
Oh, well, that was in the after show, too.
Like 2-3 months long. Like, come on.
Look, that was in the after show, too. Macy, who never tries to, be mean or get revenge or whatever, actually tries. She's talked about it before, but she usually tries to be pretty nice and talk things out. She actually said on the after show that she was upset because her mom was like trying to keep Kyle away from Bentley, and she said, you know what, I never do this, but I just got to say, Ryan's had 5 girlfriends as of today,
but that's not
and all of them have meant Bentley.
That's her being honest.
No. But in other words, I think what she's saying is that she's not usually one to try to stir up the pot and argue and stuff.
Confuse your son, Ryan.
Yeah.
But
so
he can call me. What's our number? 424.
See, you know what? Online selling.
1729 Ryan.
Okay. Yeah. What do you want to do? You want to call him and you want to talk about the current events of the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
That might work. That might help him a little.
Yeah, that's right. You want to help him. Okay.
Anyways,
yeah.
guys.
I'm the good guy now. Isabel is now the dirty old man. I'm now the nice person. Isabel's the dirty old man. All right. So have you triggered your memory what your prediction was? No? Okay. Well, then maybe she'll remember for next week, guys. With that, we have had a lot of fun sharing our thoughts about Farrah, Caitlin, Macy, and Amber. My prediction stays the same. Tyler is fatherly instincts are going to kick in. Macy and Ryan are going to have some sort of a semi-reunion of sorts, I think, even though Ben, the intern, disagrees with me. It's a good thing his opinion doesn't matter. And then Amber, don't need to make predictions because we know the future because it's already happened.
Farrah's going to go see Baby Daddy. That was part of it.
Farrah's going to go see Baby Daddy.
That's going to be an emotional one. That's our prediction.
Wait, Farrah? What are you talking about? Farrah's Baby Daddy gone.
I know. She's going to go to the actual cemetery with
Oh,
Baby.
Well, hopefully it doesn't distract her from needing to move on and call, new people at 424-256-1729 on Wednesdays at 6:30 Pacific Standard. So, anyway, we are very grateful that we have the opportunity to talk and share with you guys. We didn't get any callers this time, but we love you guys and would love for you to Twitter and at AfterBuzz TV and call in 424-256-1729.
Do you want a date with Ed?
Yeah, and that's it. Ben, if you want, you can take us out. We
Wrap it up.
Done.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.